Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? December 26th. Yes, even the Saturday after Christmas, we talk, answer questions. I don't know how well attended this one will be, but our daily financial news, which was at 7:30 this morning, had about 50 people on it. So this this could be pretty well attended. Normally, Monday through Friday, we probably get 80, 85 on the daily show. But I did not expect 50 today. I expected a lot of sleepy heads sleeping in, enjoying a good respite this morning. So it was pleasant to see all of my daily viewers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This again is the live Q&A show. I have a series of questions that I've collected throughout the week. I will likely get through this in 15 minutes or so. And then the questions will be coming from you, the viewers, the ones that are watching. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I am doing this from my computer, so it's easy to operate. And just so you know, this little guy here might be making some noise. I was able to keep him quiet for most of the 7:30, but he is awake now. Hey, buddy, you got to get that stuff out of your eye. You can't see. Anyways, you may hear him. So if you do, I apologize, but we will keep going. I will have him on my lap. So that's just, it is what it is. Good morning, Maxwell, Tamika. How are you guys doing this morning? Thank you for watching. Let's just get into it. Again, I will go for about 20 minutes on questions I've collected through the week, but hopefully I will have questions from all of you momentarily. Which ones do I want to start with first? I guess we'll go bottoms up today. What is the minimum cash flow that I look for in a property? And if you're one of my students, if you follow me, that is the wrong question. A lot of folks in Bigger Pockets and all these other things tell you about, $200, $300. I believe that's the wrong measure. If you follow me, you know what I've done for 20 years. You know what I teach others to do. It is what I call yield. I want to know how hard my money is working. I take a collection of money out of my account, and I want to know how much is coming back. It's very simple math. You do not need to overcomplicate it. It's expected yearly cash flow on top divided by out-of-pocket cash to make rent ready. Down payment, closing costs, repairs, make ready, whatever you want to call it. And I believe every city, every state, certainly every city has an average return. And your job, if my students, one of my followers, let me stop my alarm. There we go. Your job, if you're one of my students or followers, is to figure out what average is for your chosen city. Every city has a different average. What is average in Cleveland, Ohio is different than Dallas, Texas. What is average in Dallas, Texas is different than Tampa Bay, Florida. And that's different than Seattle, Washington. So your job is to figure out what your average return is. It's not minimum cash flow. Minimum cash flow is a lazy measure. You just got to put more down and you could get that. So you need to figure out what average is, because if you're one of my students and you see what's coming, 2021 is going to be a great year. My students, the ones that are doing work now, will know what average is in their market, and they will be able to take care of the inventory wave that is coming. We are going to have move-up buyers sell because they want out. Too much equity, been cooped up for a year. It's going to be a selling season like never before. And that's going to bring quality differences, the ability to make deals, and you're going to be able to make lots of good and great deals in about 4 months is my guess. So that's what I would be doing. I do not believe in minimum cash flow. However, that said, I do think there is a measure that's too skinny. Like if you had a no money down deal, so you put $0 down and it only cash flow $10 a month, that would be an infinity return, right? Because 10 times 12 is 120. 120 divided by 0 is infinity or null value, whatever you want to call it. That's too skinny. So there is some, low, but that's not how most deals come. You're not going to do a no money down deal, a true no money down deal, and get $10 cash flow. Those aren't out there, or at least that shouldn't be done. It's too skinny. So, gun to head, I wouldn't want to do a deal less than $100 cash flow. maybe even 150 or 200 if you're brand new. But that's what I think. I think a minimum cash flow is the wrong question. That's just what I think. It's the wrong question. Again, just going bottoms up, this one was kind of a downer. What do you think happens if, for whatever reasons, the vaccine fails? We have another year of COVID. There's another strain or whatever happens, and everybody catches it and all this stuff. My brain doesn't work that way. I don't look for the worst case scenario like that. I don't follow. I don't know. I don't know if that's technically a conspiracy theory, because I guess it's. I mean, I don't understand viruses. I'm not a doctor by any means, but I don't think that way. I believe in science and smart work. I also believe that eventually herd immunity is herd immunity. So I choose not to look at that. I would say if we do have another year of this and it just gets out of hand, watch out for government spending. Everybody will have a replacement income. It will be trillions and trillions of dollars in stimulus. The government will have no choice. Again, I don't see that coming. I don't think that way, but it was a question asked, so I answered it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say there. I don't think that way. I think 2021 going forward is going to be amazing. I think there'll be opportunities for the folks that are ready. Yeah, I don't understand all the negativity and always looking for, the outlier thing. I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's been a weird year, right? 2020 has sucked, but good news is almost over. Another question is, if you were to start apparently I've talked about starting over a couple of times. I think I even highlight this in my book. You talk about better using your cash, and the outcome of that is, are you saying turnkey is what people should buy? Well, you have to understand exactly what I'm saying, because that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, back in 2002, 2003, 2004, moments in time, because lending was really, really easy, I should have bought cleaner properties that didn't require 10 to 15 grand in repairs. I bought cheap, which meant needed work, which meant that it impacted my yield. Now, I didn't think that way in the beginning. I frankly thought minimum cash flow was the way to go. So I bought junk. And that's why the first question of what's your minimum cash flow is not something I like, because I did it and I bought junk and I wasted my cash. Now, some of you may hear that and not hear, you know what I mean? I'm talking my time frame, 2002, 3, 4, 5. Lending was easy. I don't think lending is very easy today. So you have to run your numbers. My students know that sometimes buying junk is better. Sometimes buying turnkey is better. If you don't do the work, I can't help you. My course is all about doing the work. I want you to learn your market. I want you to focus. I want daily execution. And then in your market, maybe buying turnkey is best. If turnkey produces an 8% yield and buying junk is 6, guess what you should buy? Well, 8 is bigger than 6. Maybe you found a steal and you found a total wreck, and you can generate a 12% return on it, even putting 30 grand into repairs when your market is a 9. Well, great, go buy the 12. Folks, this is what my students are doing every day. They are using one spreadsheet. They are comparing junk with turnkey. They are comparing duplexes with houses. They are comparing fourplexes with apartments. One spreadsheet. I don't know what it is, 12 columns, because all we want is yield. All we want to know is how hard our cash is working. So hopefully that answers that question. And again, in 2002, 2003, when you could get a loan on anything, clean or junk, I should have got clean, because I would have been able to save cash and buy more stuff. So hopefully that is makes sense. So I've done a couple of videos recently on San Francisco, and man, if you ever want to blow off just 10 minutes, read some of those comments. I'm trying to delete all the truly nasty ones, but sometimes they get through. Man, people are just nasty. But apparently, a lot of people think I don't know San Francisco. And I've been in the Bay Area for 50 years. I've been 40 minutes south of San Francisco. I'm a season ticket holder of the Warriors. I've worked in San Francisco, right? Have I ever lived in the city? No, but I've been there thousands of times. And people are trying to tell me I'm wrong because San Francisco's weather. Have you been to San Francisco? It is freezing in the summer, right? This history that San Francisco has great weather, it's freaking cold. The fog rolls in the morning. It's damp. It's yucky. The Bay Area has amazing weather. But to tell me that San Francisco has good weather, like the city of San Francisco, it may have 5 good weather days all year, maybe 10, but that's a joke. San Francisco does not have good weather. You could get till noon and still have fog, damp and ugly. The wind picks up in the summer. San Francisco does not have good weather, at least by Bay Area standards. If you want to tell me San Jose or, Campbell has good weather, yeah, that's the Silicon Valley. We are spoiled, right? I'm sitting in Mountain View where the average temperature is probably 72 all year, and we have 2 seasons, wet and dry. And oh, by the way, the wet seasons, we're really lucky. It rains at night. It almost never rains during the day. So, yeah, the people that are spouting off about weather, there's no reason to own a multi-million-dollar condo or house in San Francisco because of the weather. Some of those condo towers don't even see the ground until 1 o'clock in the afternoon some days because the fog is so thick. It's crazy. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest. Next, what are my thoughts on rental prices? What I think you mean there is rental rates. At least that's what I heard, or what I'm going to answer it as. So here's the deal. I don't believe rents go up very much next year. I think they go up big time in 2022. If you've been following my channel, you know that I think prices react first. Prices react first. And that's going to happen next year. I'm actually going to do a video today on my 5 predictions for 2021. And not to steal my own thunder, but I'm going to guess or estimate that nationally, house prices are up 10%. 10%, 10. They're up 14.6 in 2021. So, some of you may see that, oh my God, real estate's crashing because it slowed 4%. I can tell you compounding a 14% year and then a 10% year, that's pretty good. But I don't think rents go up very much next year. We're going to still have jockeying for movement of buyers versus owners. But I think 2022, the economy is going to be rocking. We could see 5% GDP growth Q1, Q2 of 2022, which would be great for the US. And I think we're going to have pretty healthy rent growth in early 2022. Probably 8 to 10%, especially in homes, Yeah. Next, thoughts on an upside down mortgage, right? It's a buy and hold investor. So what this person was really saying is, hey, let's say I buy a house for 200 grand. I put 10% down. So say 20 grand, 10%, 20 grand. Yeah. 20 grand. And let's say for whatever reason, real estate collapses and it falls 15%. So now you have a 180K mortgage and 170K value. What do? Well, you do nothing. You're a buy and hold investor. What I believe will happen is the only thing that's going to cause values to fall is going to be rise in interest rates. So you've got a conservative 30-year mortgage at 2.8%. You're going to be loving life as rents go up, because as interest rates go up, sure, values will go down, but affordability gets whacked. More renters. So stop looking at the value of the home. That is a misnomer. It is a remnant of the 2008 crash because people had toxic debt and they were forced to sell because there was no equity. Your loan, your 30-year loan in 2020, 2021 is going to have value. So again, just do the math, do the work. I would have no problem owning 4 single-family rentals with a 2.9% interest rate for 30 years that for some reason fell 15% in value. My net worth took a 25% hit in 2009 and 10. Who cares? You don't spend net worth, you spend cash flow. So if you do your job day one, stop looking. It doesn't matter. If you truly are buy and hold, it doesn't matter. Values will be back. What have we learned in this crisis? Most cities are up and way up from last time, right? The peak of 08 or 9 or whatever peak was for your market. So I think these people looking for the upside down and, hey, we have a crash coming and all of that stuff aren't doing the math. Do the math. As I say, do the work. And then lastly, I've gotten a bunch of requests for my financial health spreadsheet. This is going to be an anchor of that new course I'm building. I'm sharing everything I do. It will just be a part of the course. That's the one where it produces the score. You know, I already forget the names. Basically negative, below 0, 1 to 15, that spreadsheet. I'm working hard on it. I keep adding to it. Just not done yet. My hope is by the 1st, maybe the 15th of January, it'll all be out and ready for you. So that's what I got for you today. Those were all the seeded questions. And again, remember, if you're watching this recorded, you can leave questions, and I try to do my best to get back to them. But that's all I collected last week. So let me go back and see questions. So again, folks, if you're 43, 44 people watching, I'm going to go through your questions now. So let me scroll back. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Yep. Find average, then only do good or great deals. You're so right. All right. I have a question. Aside from California, what other states do you recommend investing in rental property wise? I do not recommend, I don't even recommend California. That's something I stay away from, Maxwell. I teach learning your market. I teach boots on the ground. These are, I don't believe there is a perfect market out there where investors should go no matter what. You have to look at your situation. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to do hands-on versus not? Where do you have boots on the ground? Because you got to be able to have a team that will take care of you. So I don't know those situations. And, you know, you might be happy in, I don't know, Huntsville, Alabama. Somebody else may be happy in San Antonio, Texas. I'm happy in Fresno. Why am I in Fresno? I've said it many times. I just couldn't do out of state. I didn't want to get on an airplane. So that meant I had to find a city that I could drive to, and my options were limited. So again, I don't recommend California. It's not landlord friendly, but it is amazing appreciation. If you can find deals and dance through the market cycles, which I've shown you how to do, you can do great in California. But I'm not recommending California. You need to find out what you're comfortable with. Where's your team? What market is at? Where can you learn average? I think it's a mistake to look for the highest yield. I think that's another thing I hear a lot is, hey, you keep telling me Fresno 6, I want 12. Well, if you chase yield only, and it's not someplace you care to visit and care to build a team, you're probably going to cut corners. And when you cut corners in this business, you're at risk. So I recommend a city that you like going to, right? That you can go visit at least once or twice a year, boots on the ground, surprise visits. It's all kinds of things you have to check your portfolio. So hopefully that makes sense, Maxwell. Yeah, hilarious. I never liked the weather there. Yeah, dude, San Francisco. These people that say San Francisco has good weather, never been there. They must look at postcards of the Golden Gate Bridge or something. I don't know. Maxwell, thank you, buddy. You're doing something right if you get some negative comments. Well, I can tell you the last month, I must have been doing something right because my negative comments have gone up exponential the last 30 days. Yeah. It's all relative. I'm thinking that's about the weather, I'm guessing. It's all about SoCal. Oh, that's the weather. Yeah. SoCal weather's San Diego. Folks, if you want to talk about a city that has great weather, San Diego wins every time, my opinion. San Francisco wants to collect the data of all rentals, what the rent is, and what the vacancy rates. That only leads to more government control and rental prices. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, San Francisco is run by a bunch of individuals who they want to legislate, and that is something you can't do. I don't think you can legislate behavior. That's why we have the rule of law. If you break the law, you pay the price. But stop trying to legislate behavior. That creates just idiotic behavior. What is the best type of loan for financing a single-family rental property in an LLC? Well, you're going to need to talk to a mortgage broker because that changes all the time. Most of you that are asking that question, the LLC is not seasoned, right? It's less than a year old. And all the mortgage brokers that I know are telling me you can't finance a LLC at the prevailing rates. So not a great option. You could probably go get a commercial loan or something else, but you're going to be paying 6.5%, 7%. In this market, you can't do that. Back in 2003 or 4, it was really, really easy, but not today. What is you or your PM team approach when the time comes to increase rent? There's a good question. So I'll answer this 2 different ways because California just passed rent control this year statewide. So I'm going to answer that question pre-rent. First, if you were one of my tenants and you paid on time for 12 months in a row and you had rent increase last year, you will not get a rent increase next year. Again, this is pre-rent control. Again, if you had a bump in 2019, you paid rent on time for all of 2020, you do not get a rent increase in 2021. I believe landlords make a mistake. What they don't realize is in their desire to get max rents, they are inadvertently increasing expenses. My spreadsheets clearly show the largest expense. The way to turn a property positive to negative is a unit turn. So I want to reward good behavior, and good behavior is 12 months of payments. So that's the answer there. Right now, if you are a tenant that's been late 4 or 5 months out of the year, I had to chase you, I had to threaten evictions, I'm going to raise the rent. Just, if you want to stay, great, because in my reality is you're going to eventually be gone anyway, and I want to have good tenants. And I think in any given year, probably 30-35% of my tenants would normally not get a rent increase because they did as expected. So that's that question. Now, Gavin Newsom. He's the only politician I name by name because he's forced me to change my business. Gavin Newsom, if you don't know, in 2018 in November, California had a rent control. We, Californians, voted against it. Gavin Newsom, in his infinite wisdom, I think it's Assembly Bill 3088, brought rent control because he knows better than us, which is asinine. No politician should have the power to do that. He did. And that's why he will forever be somebody that needs to be recalled because he thinks he knows better than us. That said, what he said is, I have to give rent increases to all my tenants every year. Because currently, under the Assembly Bill, I think it is 3088, increase rents every year, I lose the ability on that amount in the future. So unfortunately, because of Gavin Newsom, all my tenants get rent increases every year. Sometimes it's 1 or 2%. Sometimes it's the full 5%. Gavin Newsom did that. Gavin Newsom made it so California landlords can't not raise rents. It's not in our long-term interest because we'll never get that money back. And that has come to be for all the mom and pop landlords that are 20% under market. They'll never get that back. Their properties are worth less now because income properties are worth the income they generate. And because of Gavin Newsom, he has destroyed value. He's hurt tenants. It's just dumb. But that's why. So hopefully that helps with rent increases. What's the yield you think is a great deal and what's a good deal? Well, that depends on the market. I only know one market. I only look at one market every day. My market averages 5.5 or 6%. So good would be 7, great would be 8, 8.5. In 2010, average was like 12% and great was 15, right? So it changes. But that's why I teach a course, because every city is different. I have folks investing in the central, and they're telling me it's 10, 12%. I have to trust them. I've never looked. I've never done the math. So again, what I teach is the ability to learn. And if you can learn your market, if you spend the time, and it takes time, it takes 45, 60 days. If you know average, you've unlocked the magic of real estate. Because if you only do a couple of good or great deals a year, even one great deal a year, you're beating everybody else. Yeah. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Yep, Facebook Live for my students, which your wife bought you a Christmas present yesterday, bought you the course. So, yep, we will see you there in about 33 minutes. We'll go live in the Facebook group. Tamika, are you using the same company for rental insurance on your properties? Oh, that's a good question. So I have, no, well, I guess I have. So my single family homes are with one company. My apartments are with one company, and my mixed use is with a different company. Offer better rates and terms and are structured in different entities and all of that stuff. So all of my single family homes are here, my apartments there, and my mixed use retail on the bottom, residential on the top, are over here. Yeah. So no, I guess they're not all with one company. Some companies do great with houses, some with apartments, and some with mixed use. But yes, all my single family homes are with one company. And remember, though, I'm in one state and one city. It's possible if you have units in different cities and states that you have to get different insurance. That's not something that I have to deal with. What is still good cash flow at this time? Market has skyrocketed. Again, I look for yield, not cash flow. Again, every market is different. You can still get positive cash flow. People are not doing the math. Folks, I keep saying this. People want to point at values and say, hey, look, 2020, same price as 2020. Folks, do the math. Mortgage rates at 6.5 is very different than 3. So cash flow today is better than 2008. Just do the math. Do the work. Stop watching YouTube entertainers talk about price being too high. Those people, they're just entertainers. They're trying to get clicks to have YouTube pay them $1 million a month. Yeah. Maxwell. Once COVID restrictions loosen, would you ever host a dinner social networking event for your subscribers? Be kind of cool to see you live, give a speech, meet like-minded people. Just a thought. Yeah. Well, I would assume I would. I did. I think I did 8 live events in 2019, maybe 7. Yeah, maybe 7. Yeah, I did 7 live events. I think I did 4 in the Bay Area and 3 in Fresno. I certainly look forward to doing that again, but it will be after this is all behind us. So yeah, I expect to. Those are fun for me. I like those. Talking to a camera all day, it's okay. Live events are awesome. So yes, you can count on that. Yep. Do I have a blanket policy on your properties or policy for each individual property? So each individual property, that is something my lenders require if I have a loan on them. I do have umbrella policies over top, which I fully recommend. But yeah, the lenders that I have are required. Well, I want to be named. They want to be individual. Yes, I do that. Yes, he did get some special stuff. Hi, Jimbo. You got a Merry Christmas there. Thank you, Anne. Yes, he got some treats and squishy toys, all that stuff. Yes, hit the like button. We got 65 people watching and only 18 likes. Thank you, Blake. All right, everybody. I think I got through all the questions. I wasn't sure how well attended today was. This was fun, though. We do this every Saturday at 8. I will sit tight, see if any other questions come in. Otherwise, this will be a short one, or a relatively short one. Any more questions? What do you think, Jimbo? I love this puppy. You are a pain in the butt, though. You are a pain in the butt. All right, folks, we'll call it today. Thank you for watching. 30 minutes, quick and dirty. Have fun. We'll do this again next week at 8 a.m. California time Pacific. Leave your questions throughout the week. Take care. And if you're my student, talk to you in about 29 minutes. Bye-bye.